faith and stability.
and total tranquility.
I'm building off your energy.
You listen to the inner me,
You're my peace, not my enemy.
my lover and my friend indeed.
Together we will grow the seed growing Vorgasmic energy. And we are back.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, where you been?
It's been forever.
It's been forever. Y'all missed us?
We missed y'all.
We missed y'all. You don't realize how therapeutic this thing is.
Right.
Speaking to the masses. But what's up? I am Grant Michaels.
And I am Queen Shá. First episode of 2024.
Man, it feels like it's the first episode, period. It's been a little minute, man.
Nah, now that I think about it, I even thought when I got here, like, oh, I used to be so nervous in the first couple of episodes, but now it's just like, just talking, like talking to my friends.
Real talk. I'm super excited to be back on these airways with my partner in life, with my best friend.
Let's fill the people in.
How you been, best friend?
Doing good. So what is mid-February? It's been a lot going on. We've been a lot of places. That's why we haven't been here. Which what we're going to talk about today. You know, one of the places that we visited to kind of get out there and see what's going on in the world of relationships in another part. Just to kind of see what's been going on. But no, we've been doing good, working, you know, jumping into our goals for the year, busy with the kids, and life just been life. And we both are 40 now.
I was about to jump head into it. Like, we've both had a birthday since
we are
our last recording. We ain't talked to y'all since we was in our 30s. You know what I mean? Like, we both 40 now, like the big 4-0.
I'm a fresh 40. Right up, my birthday was on the Super Bowl.
And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest.
Go ahead.
That check knee light do come on. That check knee light, check shoulder light, check back, like the lights on your dash in your car when something's awry. Yeah, like all of a sudden, like, wait a minute, no, what's up with this shoulder? It was fine yesterday.
Let me look in the camera and talk to people. Those lights are not on for me.
Man, that's you. You're not as physically active as I am.
I don't know.
I mean, out in public, like gym and stuff, Karen and whatnot. Like, but anyway, but yeah, man, it's been a good
Club 40. A lot of
Club
changes.
40. Mm-hmm.
I cut my hair off. I dyed it. I think my hair was blonde last time I recorded.
That is real. You did cut some hair.
Yeah, I've been changing stuff. I didn't know what I wanted to do. 2024, I was like, first let me dye it back. Let me just take it back. Then I wasn't satisfied with that. I wanted locks. Thought about that for a little minute. I was like, no, that's real permanent. I was like, just cut it off. It's hair. It'll grow back. You know, I've been having some great hair days. I don't know if y'all can really get all into this hair, but it's having a good day.
It is easily manageable. You know, I can when I slide your hand back and then palm the back of your head.
Got a new stylist.
It don't take as long to get my fingers out.
A1 stylist. We better get off topic real quick.
Off topic. That's the topic we need to get on, but not just playing. Go ahead. I'm just messing with you. But we back. We excited to be back.
We took some travels.
Where'd you go?
To Vegas to celebrate his 40th birthday. And
I love Vegas. It's an adult Disneyland, you ask me.
It is. And people are like, y'all going back to Vegas? Because we've been several times. We've been together. We've been with different groups of friends. Vegas is one of those places where you just got to keep going back. I literally could go to Vegas every year. We just went to Vegas the year before that. But you got to change up the experience while you're in Vegas.
Vegas got something for everybody, you know. Somebody once said, like, you can't bring your kids to Vegas. That ain't necessarily true. You can. I won't.
Right.
We won't. But if you want to take your kids to Vegas, there's actually kid-friendly things to do. But like she said, each time is a different experience. The only thing that's constant and consistent with my trips to Vegas is I got to go see my baby. There's a statue.
Tell them your baby.
My baby is the lioness statue outside of Caesar's Palace. You know what I'm saying? She like it slow from the front, fast from the back. And she's always in crouching tiger position. You know what I'm saying? That's my baby. And I always go take a picture with her.
Mount her.
For a decade plus, I'd always go take the exact same picture. But other than that, there's all type of stuff to do in Vegas. And
we changed it up.
We switched it up a little bit.
We switched it up. I mean, there's so many places to stay, so we opted not to stay directly on the Strip, just to experience something different this time. So that was great. But then because he was turning 40, we definitely wanted to do some different things. So we did zip lining.
Hold on. Let's take it from the top. So first and foremost, we're at the airport, and I'm like, I asked her, I was like, what zone are we in? Because she was adamant about making sure they can hear our zones and whatnot. So I'm like, she wouldn't tell me what zone we was in. And right when the pre-boarding started, she was like, let's move this way. Let's make sure we can hear our name.
Right, let's come on.
This woman flew me out first class.
You know, y'all gotta treat y'all men sometimes.
Real talk, like
VorgasmicVyibez. Like, yes, he can do that for himself, but change it up, because I know he thought we had just a regular seat, because a lot of times I'm in charge of travel. Just because I'm serious about the deals and things like that. But I was like, you know what? Let's jump this birthday off, and let me set the tone and let him know how we moving for this 40th birthday.
Now, I've been flying since I was in middle school. That was my first time ever flying first class. I get it. Because at first I was like, no need. We going to the same destination. You don't need to be that bougie. Pay a couple extra dollars.
It's not bougie, though.
It's not. It's an
about
experience.
Being comfortable and having options.
From the chairs to the service itself, it's worth that extra couple $100. Anyway, so flew me out first class. And you got to know, when we go anywhere, 3-4 days, it's basically a 72-hour to a 96-hour date. That's just a date for us. You know what I'm talking about? A huge extended date. So from the moment we get to the airport to the moment she's saying we didn't stay on the Strip. It's not directly on the Strip. We stayed literally in a 2-minute walk from the Sphere.
Right.
So nice hotel, nice suite. We had a fireplace in the suite. So celebrating a little bit for the 40th and just trying new experiences. And it was as always
a great time
and memories made. Why? Because of the investment we put in towards each other. Making sure she wanted to ensure that my 40th was original, was different. We tried some different things, explored some different things, which in tune helped us going forward, because we were like, okay, now we've conquered something new, explored something new. You want to elaborate on that?
On which part?
Wherever's on your heart, wherever the Lord laid on your heart, whichever direction you want to go in.
Well, what do we do first?
I can't.
I don't know.
I don't know if I want to say it on the airwaves.
Well,
what we did first.
Anyway,
let's just say,
I'll go back to the zip line, since I mentioned it earlier. So we did the zip line. I forget the name of it, but it's in
Old Vegas.
It's in Old Vegas in Fremont. He had never been to Old Vegas, and I was like, you gotta go to Old Vegas. Like, if you keep coming to Vegas, how you not go to Old Vegas?
Because everything I want is on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Well, but everything I want is on Las Vegas
Boulevard.
Experiences again,
and there's different experiences all throughout Las Vegas Boulevard.
Right, but anyway, I convinced him to go to Old Vegas. Went to Old Vegas, and just from the minute we got there, it just was great. We did the zip line, which seemed okay at first, because we saw like the line for the zip line, like where it was placed, and I was like, oh, that's not that high. So we went into the building. They were like, okay, get on this elevator
and go up.
And so the elevator just going
and go up
and going
and go up.
And then I see the line that I saw, and
then we see all the top of the buildings. Like, okay, wait a minute, we zip lining from here.
Right. So we were stuck by this point, because we paid. They put the harness and everything on us, and it definitely was a good thrill. And I do recommend that couples every now and then, not all the time, but you should try something that kind of puts you on edge. One, to get your thoughts going, and then in the moment you're just like, oh, I should do this more often. It's like your adrenaline is rushing in a different way. Just different experience and memories. You can laugh, even if like you real nervous. Even if people with us were nervous, because they also didn't realize we were going that high.
Yeah, man. And in addition to being that high, the more you weigh, obviously, is physics involved. The faster you go. So we started out together, and the next thing you know, I'm creeping out. I'm like a bullet train.
It was funny.
We got the audio. The video. We got to
right, because you could pay to get a camera to record it, and he could pan it around. But it was so funny. We realized like his body weight, and it was like some teenagers. Like it's 4 people go at a time, so it was like 2 teenagers. So the rest of us all lightweights in the back. He just zooming across.
To help y'all understand or paint this picture, it was like I was Usain Bolt, and they were Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd and all them animated jokers. I'm way out here just speed, just picking up. Like, mind you, it's cruising. It's on a decline. I mean, we was on the 4th story, 5th story, and then but it was an experience. It was fun, and you know, this is a relationship podcast. You'd be like, "What y'all trip to Vegas got to do with a relationship?" I'm trying to tell you.
After we did the zip line, well, let's back it up.
Before that, like we were saying how a relationship is. When we travel, it's a 72 to 96 hour date essentially. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, it's the 2 of us. We carefree. So it's all about us. Like, it's all about keeping a smile on her face, keeping a smile on my face. We're going to eat good. We going to eat good. We ate amazing. Had personal date nights, personal day dates, like the ice bar.
Oh, the ice bar.
We went to an ice bar. Like, we had on fur coats, looking like Frank Lucas and them at the fight. You feel me? Looking like Pimp C in Big Pimpin' video. Had on the white fur.
Except I was freezing because we were going to go out after. So my little ditzy self, you know, in my mind when I'm getting dressed, I'm like, cool, we're going to go out after we go to the ice bar. I own these open toe shoes, trying to be cute. I don't know why I didn't wear some boots or something.
She probably left a toe in there, frostbite. It probably just snapped right off. Like, when we say ice bar, like, what was it?
The seats were
it was I want to say 13 degrees in there.
13 degrees.
Like, they literally, like, you can't go in there with just your normal clothes. They give you clothing, additional clothing to put on. So the bar is a giant cube of ice. Like a giant cube of ice carved out. The cups that we were drinking out of.
They give you your own.
A giant ice cube carved out in the shape of a cup. It's ice that we're drinking out of. So ice bar. Like, that was a different cool experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, it's 13 degrees in there.
Right. All you can do is laugh and make yourself have fun. And this is how they get you. I said, you know what? I need to get my brain going and come back and open up some different businesses. Because you pay for like an hour and a half. Nobody can last an hour and a half in the ice bar.
Them Slovakians could last
20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Man, we was in there for like 25, 30 minutes. Like,
right. So
you pay, they give you, with the admission, you get, I think, what was it, 2 drinks?
Right. Well, we did the VIP so that we could get the
fur coats.
Because you pay based on what you want to experience.
If you just want the general admission, you're just going to get one of those, right?
A
Parker coat. And granted, that's warm, but it ain't a fur. So, like, how much we need to pay to get this fur coat experience?
Right.
Worth it by far. But that was something new. Let's challenge each other. You got to understand, this woman hates being cold.
Oh, absolutely.
So that showed me, she's willing to step outside her comfort zone for our entertainment.
I also don't
compromise.
Anybody that knows me knows I don't really drink, but I told him before we went on the trip, I was like, I'm gonna drink the whole time, no matter what.
And so to maximize my opportunities, the moment we land, we ain't sipping nothing fruity. Mr. Don, Mr. Julio, come visit us so we can make sure we get to where we're trying to go.
Because when I opened my suitcase, what did I have? And you were shocked. I had shot glasses. So, I came prepared for the fun. I know when to change it up,
Yeah, man. But that's the fact that she was willing to step out her comfort zone for our entertainment, for an experience that we can cherish and cherish for the rest of our life. I mean, that meant a lot to me. You got to acknowledge the things that your woman is doing, and that's outside of her norm. You know what I'm saying?
Or just your spouse in general. It's not all about you. So while certain things I don't do on a regular, I know he likes certain things, and it changes the experience. I'm like, you got to bend and, compromise, if you will, from time to time. And
on the flip side, you must acknowledge it, because it takes a lot for a woman, especially a woman. I mean, most people, but particularly a woman who may or may not have her, I don't want to say set in her ways, but may have her behavior traits. If she's stepping outside of that and it's not with malice, and you got to acknowledge that. You got to let her know you appreciate her for doing that, and let your appreciation be seen, felt, and heard. You know what I'm saying? So,
and to clarify why I don't really drink.
We ain't talking about the drinking part. We talking about period.
No, I mean just in general though, because people are like, you don't drink? No, I don't because
I need a designated driver.
Well, and not even that. It takes a long time for me to actually feel it. So in my mind, I'm like,
that ain't true. It just depends what you're drinking.
Yeah, but I mean, just on average, like when people just like, oh, the shots, da da da. I'm like,
yeah, you don't need a shot. Do I need to bring up?
No.
Exhibit A?
No.
Got a
You're
video.
right. It's certain things, but I just mean in general, people are, oh, let's just go have shots. That does nothing for me.
Because you're not supposed to have one.
I know, but even if I have, where did I go recently? I had like 8 shots, like just back to back. Did nothing.
On your girl's trip?
Right. It just does not have.
I don't think
impact.
you recognize what tipsy is because you don't be
recognize.
tipsy.
And it's
but
just
that's,
it's a waste of my time. That's why I don't.
Anywho,
back to it. So back to Fremont. So what did we do after the zip line?
So
what did we decide to do?
So we did something, and the reason I'm bringing up outside of your comfort zone, bring the stepping outside of normal behavior traits. Can't get my words out. Man, we went out and did street interviews.
Mm-hmm. Like hits from the streets.
Now, granted, me and the boys, we did something similar to that in high school. That was in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Here we are in 2020. At the time, it was 2023. And stepped outside our comfort zone, walking up to clearly married couples. We had to see rings on both fingers. And we walked up to couples, introduced ourselves as Grant Michaels, Queen Shá. Mm-hmm. Told them about the VorgasmicVyibez podcast, and we did street interviews with one or two questions. We first asked them where they're from, and then we asked them what are keys or some successful behaviors that lead to a successful and a happy marriage, and interviewed people that were in their basically newlyweds in their late 20s to a very seasoned couple. I think we did like five or six, and to a seasoned couple that was clearly in their, late 40s, maybe early 50s, mid 50s type era. And they were from all walks of life. Chicago. We met a couple from South Carolina.
From Columbia. They were from Columbia.
And then we met a couple
from Hawaii.
Another couple was from Hawaii. Just stepping outside our comfort zone, and we had obviously had the microphone. Shay was behind the camera, and it was mind blowing just to hear the different things from these different married couples from different walks of life, the keys to success, and no two were the same. A couple were around.
They were similar. So well, let's tell them what
let's dive in, because it's gonna be helpful.
Right. So the youngest couple, they're about 25, 30 age bracket. Asian couple. So we also tried to find people in different ethnic groups too, just to see if the answers varied. So I thought it was interesting because the young couple, they said patience and respect. So that was great to hear. Like, you definitely do have to be patient. You definitely, have to have respect for each other. And so they felt like the two of those went hand in hand. That was great. Then the couples that were 30s, 40s, they all had the same answers. One guy said having uncomfortable conversations, which we've talked about as well, because that's how you grow. Some of the best information, some of the best learning moments come from you being vulnerable, feeling safe enough to tell someone, okay, this is what you've done, or this is how this has made me feel. And not to lead to an argument, but just to learn, as the guy was saying, like, that's how you grow together. Laughter. That was a big one that a lot of people said. So having fun, just like we're talking about the trip, you have to carve out time to have fun with each other. But one wife was like, my husband literally makes me laugh so hard every day. And it was obvious because it's like he was trying not to laugh even while she was saying it. You could tell he was like a jokester, but they seemed really fun. They also, how many kids did they have?
They had at least 3, and they were there with them.
They had 3 kids, right? They brought their kids to Vegas, but they were all
Maybe teenage or late teens, early 20s.
Well, no, 21 because they had twins, and then the oldest son because the twins were turning 21.
Right.
So they brought the twins to Vegas, and then the other sibling, and even the kids. The daughter chimed in and she was like, one of the keys to having a successful marriage is to have a great kid like me. So you can tell like the daughter.
It was a lot of positivity.
Right. Has like
everything
the
they had going on.
personality of the parents, and that, you know, they also admire their parents' marriage. So it was just good to see continue dating and growing together. Mm-hmm. So that also were top answers of those that were between the 30s and 40s. And then, like you said, we had the very seasoned couple. Mm-hmm. They were about 55, 60-ish. They also said make each other laugh. But what they really said that was great, being able to listen and talk to each other with understanding. Not, let me talk to you to get my point across. Not, I need you to listen to understand what I want. But talk and listen to each other to get understanding. So the pattern we saw was, you know, it started out patience and respect, but as the age went up, just the importance that everybody understood about communication and listening mm-hmm. and having fun, like those were the key things. And those are all vital. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care your age, where you live. If you're not willing to listen and try to understand the person you're with as they grow in life, it's not going to work. I'm not saying you don't stay together, but you can be together and it not be working.
So what I've gathered from all the different couples, from the young ones to the middle age to the very seasoned, this is a progression. Mm-hmm. Your relationship is a progression. Every single day you need to be a human computer for your spouse. It's not as time consuming, it's not as mentally draining as you think. And what that means is computers observe our behaviors, observe patterns, so they can better serve us, so they can better be of use to us. So what I'm saying is, as I'm observing my wife over year 1, year 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to where we are now, I'm learning her. I'm having the patience, like the gentleman said, to understand, look, this is a person who has their own life, I have my own life, and we're combining them together. Let me learn how to coexist in the most harmony of ways. Mm-hmm. And communication, having the hard conversation. There's a lot of people that are afraid to have hard conversations. Because like she said, listen to understand. A conversation is the two of us discussing something to come to an understanding, to come to a resolution, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Let's say if we're having the conversation, a difficult conversation, we all know couples who, as soon as one person brings something to the table, the other person is, well, you do that too, or blah, blah, blah. That's not listening to understand. That's right. Not, yeah, she said it's not a rebuttal. That's not listening to understand. That's listening to respond, opposed to, hey, blah, blah, blah is bothering me, and I just want to talk to you about it before it's an issue. I want us to be as happy as possible and as positive as possible. Would you mind, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. From that conversation, I'll know this is bothering her. Let me try to correct it, make a conscious effort to do so. And I'm sure, and it's going to be reciprocated, you know, on the backside. There are going to be things that I can say that. So to hear all these different couples and they say communicate, they say make sure we laugh with each other.
Date each other.
Sidebar for any of the single men out there. This has worked for your boy back in the day when I was single. The quickest way to get a woman is to keep her smiling and laughing and entertaining. In any shape, form, or fathom. Wittiness, just being humorous, just not being a body there. Like, make her be happy and want to be in your presence for some reason that somebody else is not giving her. So mm-hmm. That's laugh. That's the easiest way. So let me say that. So making your spouse laugh, making sure you're making her happy or excited that you're home or that you're in her space. You know, these couples was dropping nuggets on us, you know.
Right.
And we asked, one, because we wanted to present it to our audience, but two, we're just forever learning.
Right.
You know, like this couple that got 3 kids, that 2 in college. What are y'all doing that gives y'all that spark? Year 30, that gave y'all that same spark in year 5. You know, like, what have you gone through? What have you experienced? So that's why we did that. Street interviews aren't easy. To walk up to a complete stranger in a touristy place. They don't know if you come in.
That's not for me.
Yeah, like that's something that's completely out of her comfort zone.
Right, but I was like, let's do it.
And granted, I've done something like that similar, but this is a completely different climate than back in the day. You know, people walking up to people seeming innocent and causing them harm of some shape, form, or fashion. So stepping outside of our comfort zone to gain knowledge, for one, to present to the audience, but two, to help us to learn, because we forever trying to improve and better ourselves.
Well, and like I definitely thought, like, seeing that couple that had the kids, my brain was like, wow, like, you know, when our son gets to be of a certain age, or our daughter, like, that'll be cool. Like, let's take them somewhere to introduce them to, you know, adulthood, if you will, because I mean, those twins, and it was a girl boy set, they easily could have been with their friends, like doing something crazy or experiencing Vegas for the first time. But you could tell they have so much fun with their parents, because, you know, they just seem so energetic like that. They wanted to go to Vegas with their parents.
Right.
Like, and so even that, like, I want my kids to still want to have fun with us, or feel that they can have fun with us, or go to places like that. So even just beyond the marriage part, like, it just opened my eyes to start thinking of, man, like, you do have to develop a certain relationship even with your kids for them to even want that. Because you definitely have people like, man, I don't even want to go to Walmart with my mom. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to Vegas.
And it made me think as well, like, for my parents, whatever, my parents travel all the time.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, we take multiple trips, but when I go on a vacation, like, my parents are stewards of God. You know, they're very all about their Our Father's business, and I respect that, and I look up to that.
Are you not a stewardess?
I am, but I'm striving to be where they are. You know, like, pops don't drink, mom don't drink, you know. So when I'm on vacation, I ain't trying to say I'm trying to be drunk the whole time, but it's gonna be a level of tipspicity. Is that a word? It is now. So I want some kind of level of tipsiness to be sustained, and that's not conducive to being around mama and daddy. So, but it made me think I got to step outside my comfort zone and go on a vacation and realize I don't have to enjoy those unguilty pleasures of life.
Now, we did recently double date with his parents, which we have not done since maybe we were engaged. So that was cool. You know, we got to get back into doing more stuff.
But the Fremont Street, is it street, road, Fremont? We just say Fremont. You know what we're talking about in Vegas. Right.
Who else do we see?
The highlight, that's what I was getting at. So the highlight of, while we're walking around interviewing folk, I spot, is it Vyibe or Weevil?
I can't remember.
The got him guy, you know, kind of look like Draymond Green's deformitative brother a little bit.
Don't do that.
Okay, all right, you know who I'm talking about, the got him guy. You know, these nuts got him. So we see him, and he actually super cool. He was with his old lady. That's why I was like, you know, oh, okay, let's go.
So I was like, is that his girlfriend?
So she's the girlfriend / manager.
Right.
We found that out quickly. So we walk up to him like, hey, we got a podcast. It's all about relationships. I see you with your old lady. Do you mind if we ask you 2 questions on camera?
And what did he do? He immediately turned to her?
He turned to her. She looked, and she said, for such and such and such amount of money. I'm like,
right.
And I looked at shit. I'm like, you know what? This would be a super cool drop. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll pay you that. I'm talking about no receipt. Can't even write it off. Ain't get no receipt or nothing. That's a business expense. But anyway, gave him the money. And then we interviewed him. And I wasn't expecting him to say the these nuts response.
So how did it go? Some of that.
So I introduced myself. He's standing there, and I was like, are you in a relationship? He said, yeah. And I was like, well, can you give us, you know, some keys to successful relationships in your opinion? The man looked right in the camera and said, these nuts. I was like, okay.
It just got to derail because we were ready to, like, oh, we're going to ask him certain questions. But after he answered that way, it was just so funny.
It was hilarious. Like, I wasn't expecting that. He was dead to the right seat.
She was laughing. Like, she was looking like, what you want me to say?
Yeah, she was sitting there like, hey, that's the phrase that pay the bills. So what you want him to do? But that was a cool experience. Like, I've seen celebs in Vegas before, And but I haven't the last couple trips. Like when we went back when we went in 2022, we went to the Rick Ross concert. But by the time he got on stage, we was already exhausted. We had already left the club.
Right, but we always see people in travel. We saw Caesar. And we see Caesar. What trip was that? Oh, okay.
That was the weekend we saw and the model.
And we saw the model Ducky.
We saw Ducky and Caesar's from Black Ink Crew.
Right.
And this was before he got his store stolen from him, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Ducky was like incognito.
Yo, Ducky, Shayna was like, yo, that's Ducky. And I was like, who?
Because her skin is immaculate. If you don't know Ducky, look up Ducky. Like, she is beautiful. And her skin is just next level. I don't even know how to explain her skin.
You introduced me to Ducky because you was now Lupita is gorgeous. Lupita is beautiful.
Right.
But your synopsis is I'm not taking nothing from Lupita. But when I think of the origin of the black woman, when I think of beauty, I imagine Ducky. And then I looked at Ducky and I'm like, yeah, I can. So we saw them. Right. We were someplace else and saw somebody. I'm always seeing somebody, but that was pretty cool because the first time I went to Vegas, I'm in the club and 10, 15 feet from me is Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Exhibit. Exhibit actually got me drunk. He came out with his own vodka at the time, and he gave the entire club shots for free just to taste it like a taste. So Exhibit, Dr. Dre, and them like 10 feet from me. All right, next time I went to Vegas, who we saw? Oh, I can't even remember. Oh, that was when she took me to the comedy strip tease thingy.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I hadn't seen anybody famous in Vegas in a while, even though he's IG famous. Like it felt good to see old boy. He give us the platinum phrase.
And people are nicer. Like people are like, oh, celebrities are this. No, celebrities are still people, and sometimes they just want to be people. And you may just catch them at a bad time. But I think overall, the average celebrity is like real personal and cool. Mm-hmm. So that was a good highlight. But yeah, that was our Vegas trip. Ushering him into 40. Yeah, so that's where we've been. We've been over here a little bit, back over here.
Yeah.
Jumping around.
Yeah, I want to know a fun trip in Vegas or a fun experience?
No, we're gonna save it.
No, we ain't. I'm about to say it right now. Nah,
go ahead.
Nah, with taking trips, you gotta evolve. When I say evolve, I've said this before, you can't be doing the same things as a couple today that you was doing yesteryear. You gotta keep striving to introduce new things to her lady. You gotta keep her engaged, keep her interested. And that's not just with the entertainment. That's also in the bedroom. We're gonna wrap up this episode by letting you know that we went to the Green Door.
Mm-hmm. That was my idea, though. If
you don't know what the Green Door is, whip out your phone and hit Google, type in Green Door Las Vegas, and
I'm the curious one about weird stuff like that.
That ain't weird. Different, but that ain't weird. But just keep the flame lit in your relationship, man. People think people have these pigeonhole ideas of relationships. That's the mistake. Screw the pigeonholeness. Create your own. Mm-hmm. Curate your own experience. Look that woman in her eye. Look that man in his eye and ask them what they desire so y'all can make it happen for each other. Right.
And we're going to go back to the streets. We got some trips coming up. We got some great trips coming up this year. The streets were talking. That's what we're going to go with. So this is episode 1 of the streets were talking.
Vegas, baby.
Right.
Welcome to 40.
Right.
Welcome to 40.
And we vibing out.
Peace.